South Korea plans to develop a strong infrastructure which will enable it to become this dominant force in technology and digital products, the so-called digital hub of Northeast Asia. The country plans to encourage development of wireless, broadband, and digital multimedia broadcasting, among other technology. They also plan to introduce next-generation mobile phones, digital televisions, PCs, embedded software, and interestingly enough, intelligent service robots. The country actually already uses robots in postal offices. They plan to take the next step and implement domestic robots by the year 2015. The robots will be self-aware and able to interact with humans. Korea also plans to further develop its educational infrastructure. The government feels that South Korea's success will be dependent on how well educated its citizens are. South Korea currently holds the world's highest university rate, at 80% of high school graduates further their education by obtaining a university degree. In addition, South Korea is also building its web infrastructure. In 2006, small businesses in South Korea helped to build the nation's internet infrastructure when they collectively invested $1.6 billion. South Korea is also attempting to increase internet speeds to 1 gigabyte per second. This is 200 times faster than a typical DSL connection in the US, and the plan will cost around $24.6 billion. However, it is forecasted to create 120,000 jobs.
South Korea has signed free trade agreements, also known as FTAs, with 16 countries and is in negotiations with the European Union, Canada, and India. It is a member of the International Monetary Fund, also known as IMF, the Asian Pacific Economic Cooperation, also known as APEC, the United Nations, also known as UN, and the World Trade Organization, which is also known as WTO, and the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which is also known as OECD. On June 30th, 2007, the United States and the Republic of Korea signed a free trade agreement. This treaty restricts tariffs on imported and exported goods between the U.S. and Korea, reducing the price of goods for consumers in both countries. Though both countries have signed the treaty, it will need to be cleared through both countries' legislatures prior to being fully implemented. Although this agreement seems to benefit both countries, Korean farmers are worried about losing their jobs due to cheap U.S. beef and are actually afraid of it due to rumors of mad cow disease. After the announcement of the FTA, the furious farmers immediately demanded President Myung-Bak Lee reconsider the treaty. President Lee, however, refused this request, insisting the agreement would benefit South Korea's economy in the future. After a few weeks of President Lee's refusal, angry citizens who were afraid of consuming allegedly contaminated beef formed riots in front of Seoul City Hall. These riots lasted many months, and numerous innocent bystanders were injured and some killed, further angering concerned citizens. Although the agreement has not yet been put into place, many Korean citizens still refuse to purchase U.S. beef and even other U.S.-made products. Consumers are demanding cleaner Korean beef, and it has become a luxury good.
The way business is conducted in South Korea is very different from how Americans interact in the same setting. The first step when meeting a Korean business person is to be introduced by a third party versus introducing yourself. A slight bow is done, sometimes accompanied by a handshake. This goes for women as well. Maintaining eye contact is good etiquette. You are to address people by their title. First names are used once a relationship has been established, much like in the U.S. It is very important when exchanging business cards to present with both hands. It is thought that the business card should be treated as if you were handling the person themselves. You should carefully examine the card and comment on it before putting it into a card holder or a pocket. When scheduling a business meeting, punctuality is a sign of respect. However, the canceling of meetings by Korean executives is not uncommon because they have very busy schedules. When entering a meeting room, the most senior member of your organization should enter the room first and sit at the middle of the table. It's also important to remember that in South Korea, personal relationships often take precedence over business. The first few meetings are a get-to-know-you affair rather than discussing business matters. Because of this, a business deal or agreement is likely to take a few business trips.
Hey guys, in conclusion, South Korea is quite a contradiction. In some ways, the country has great strides to expand economically, but in other ways, it has separated itself from the rest of the developed world, causing other countries not to desire involvement with them. In trade agreements, business reforms, and especially in its technological infrastructure, they're helping to diversify itself and become more economically transparent. But its resistance to changing old traditions has hindered some of its growth. In the future, South Korea will need to continue its economic international business development in order to continue competing with the world's top economies. Travis out.
Were we stopping there?
Stop.
40% of South Korea's. Wait, I gotta say in for 6%.
It's okay.
South Korea
plans to develop a strong
The newly remodeled government broke barrier.
intelligence service robots. The country actually already uses robots in postal office. Digital televisions, PCs, embedded software, and interestingly enough, that's not work.
Yeah, do another one.